that I'll never speak of. Take it or leave it. Now, let me stop. Pouring my heart through the speaker. You never reach out. And we got some issues that I'll never speak of. Take it or leave it. Now, I need ya. Should've known you were a keeper. You never reach out. All I'm just a little more mature now. I won't tell you what I can and can't afford now. I invented different story, what's the story now? Story of me going from the back to the foreground. Dead homies so the liquor getting poured out. Son a young motherfucker cut a cord now. Break the walls that I put up, kick the doors down. Now I'm only going up, headed northbound. Brett. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? Yeah. I don't got much to lose. I got too much to prove.
What's up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Chris. We're back with another episode, Nerds at 9. You know what it is. If you clicked on the video, I'm going to be talking some Zion Williamson tonight. A lot going on with his situation. Strong opinions all over. I've had some strong opinions going into the season. So, I'm going to get into all of that. Talk about the MLB lockout a little bit. But yeah, I mean, first, shout out to Recreation. You know, let me use his music for this. If you like the vibes, just go check him out. You know, all his info is on the side, and it's also in the bio for the video here. Other than that, you know, hit that subscribe button, help your boy out. Go ahead and like this video, help out the algorithm, you know, maybe more people can find me. And other than that, let's get it. First big news, I think the MLB announced they're going to cancel games if the new CBA isn't agreed to by Monday. So I think that's huge. Obviously, I'm recording this now. It's Thursday night. So yeah, they got, 4 days now to make something happen, or we're talking about canceling games. The players union said that, you know, even if they don't make it by Monday, they're okay with double headers, you know, and such to make up the games. The owners don't seem to want to do that. So again, you know, we're at a standoff here. I've, you know, said I don't really think much progress is going to be made, especially not by Monday. So I'm interested to see what happens. If that does happen, I'm definitely going to, you know, put some more time. I'm going to go through, you know, everything going on with the situation and what we can expect as fans for this season, because MLB is not in a good space right now. So we'll see. Hopefully you get a full episode on that. But yeah, we're keeping an eye out there. Our summer sports might be looking really dry. So, but moving on, the NBA is back tonight. I just wanted to say that, you know, for me, these last 4 days, I didn't think I would miss the NBA so much. But, you know, every day I just kind of go through and look at all the sporting events and figure out, you know, what sports do I care about? You know, what am I keeping an eye on for that day? And, you know, without the NBA, it's been real slow for me, you know, in terms of what do I actually, like, care to watch. So, NBA's back. And that, you know, kind of leads me to talk about Zion Williamson, you know, the topic of the video here. He's probably the biggest headline in the NBA right now. Just what is going on with this guy. JJ Redick, who we know JJ Redick, he was a veteran NBA player, played at least 10 years, probably 12, 13. Not sure off the top of my head, but he did play with Zion his last year in the league down in New Orleans, and he has some strong words for Zion. So I'm gonna get into that, but you know, first I gotta talk about the whole timeline of events here, like what really is going on with him, because I'm not sure if it's like, you know, everyone really knows the whole situation, because it all started at media day. So this is September 27th, you know, 2021. With Pelicans announced Zion fractured his right foot sometime before Summer League, which was in August. They downplayed the injury, which was kind of weird. You know, people were believing that he'd be back sooner than later. So that was, end of September, right before the season started. So then October 14th, 6 days before the season was actually, ready to start, GM David Griffin, who we'll talk about a little later, he said there's no timetable on his return. So that was interesting. At that point, a lot of people still believed that Zion was going to play. I started to get a little worried because they were being so, I don't know what the word is, like, all like sketchy about it. Like they weren't like trying to give that much information and details on what the actual injury was. They wouldn't pinpoint when exactly it happened. They just kind of said it was sometime before Summer League. So they were being real shady, with the media, I thought. And I thought, that wasn't a good sign. So I predicted back then, based on some videos that I watched and people that, have had foot injuries and broken parts of their foot, I predicted that he might have a Jones fracture. And, I said that on the podcast, and I don't think, it just kind of was one of those things I said in passing. But, like, now, looking back, it kind of looks like that might have been what happened, because Pelicans announced, on December 16th, so 2 months later, that Zion had an injection in his foot that was supposed to promote healing and that he would be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. And the reason I said, if he has a Jones fracture, he's not going to play, is because, with the bones in the foot, especially depending on where it's at, they don't get as much circulation and blood, like, as the rest of the body. Like, I know I'm going super deep into this, like, but I've done some research, kind of Dr. Chris for a second here, but, like, the bones, like, the metatarsals in your foot, if you know what that is, they don't heal as fast as, if you break, an arm or something that's right next to, your main source of blood and oxygen. So you're not getting as much blood down there, therefore you're not getting as much oxygen. Long injury to recover for, So he had an injection, apparently supposed to help speed that up a little bit. That was December 16th. February 10th, which is now a couple weeks ago, but that's another 2 months from that statement. The GM just said he's not sure when Zion will get back on the court. So now we're looking at, it's already been, over 4 months, at least 5 months, if you go back all the way back to August when the injury, supposedly happened, because like I said, we don't even know. So it's been at least 5 months. There's still no idea when he'll be back. I predicted this, way back when, on October 14th, at the beginning of the season, that he wouldn't play. And now that's the case. So, I mean, well, let me not say that. That's not, like, confirmed and official that he won't play this season. But the writing's on the wall. Like, he's not going to play. From there, at All-Star Weekend, CJ McCollum was asked about, talking to Zion at all. And he said he hadn't even spoken to him yet. Obviously, CJ McCollum, one of the better players in the NBA, got traded to the Pelicans, mainly to pair alongside with Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, and start to try to grow as a team together. So the fact that, Zion hadn't at least reached out to him or anything was very odd, just from a teammate's perspective. If you're the best player on the team and the leader, you're supposed to be the face of the franchise, just kind of supposed to do it's like, it's nothing. Like, just send a text message like, hey, like, welcome to New Orleans. Like, I look forward to playing with you, yada, yada, yada. Like, boom. He didn't even take the time to do that. So, not a good look at all. Obviously for Zion, I'm starting to get really, like, worried about his career just in general. His attitude, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this guy. I'm starting to get some bad vibes. Some Jamarcus Russell type vibes. Actually, a friend of mine said that to me, and I think that's a good comp. Like, Jamarcus Russell, if anybody remembers, like, he was super talented. There was a reason that he was the number one pick, and he just didn't take it seriously, and he just pretty much wasted his career away and was terrible in the NFL. And I mean, that's not really what happened to Zion. Like, he has played a little bit, and he's been good when he's out there. So, like, there's that part. But right now, it's just not looking good, man. He's only played, I think they said 60 games so far over 3 seasons. Something around that number, 60, I remember. But if that stands, he'll play, like, I think it's just about the same as Greg Oden his first 3 seasons. And you don't want to be compared to that guy. But, yeah, it's the vibes around Zion not good right now. And then Tuesday on First Take, so that's February 22nd. But, you know, this past Tuesday, it just happened. J.J. Redick just went in on Zion on First Take. Had a lot of choice words for him. Obviously, he was a teammate of Zion, like I mentioned a little earlier. So, you know, he has firsthand knowledge. He was in the locker room every day. You know, he was part of the team playing with this guy, you know, on the court. So I take his words, you know, definitely, like, seriously. Like, I definitely respect what he has to say. And I'll give you a bunch of, because there's a bunch of quotes, and I couldn't even pick out what was, like, the most, like, scathing, like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe he said that. But, like, he went in. So I'm just going to go with it. Starting with, you know, here's the quote. Yeah, sorry. There's a responsibility that you have there's a responsibility, sorry. Let me get this right. There's a responsibility that you have as an athlete when you play a team sport to be fully invested. Boom. Then he said, you're fully invested in your body, you're fully invested in your work, and you're fully invested in your teammates. That is your responsibility. And we have not seen that from Zion. Then he kept going on. He said, this is something I addressed with Zion in front of the team. This is going back to his rookie year. So he's saying, I guess he played with Zion for, you know, the last 2 years, his rookie year and then last year. So you know, 2 years of experience in this. So he said this is going back from when he first got there. Like he's not, apparently he's saying he's not invested. Whatever that means, you know, to you, you know, maybe he's not working out hard. Maybe he's not a good teammate. He doesn't care to even talk to people on his team. Whatever, however you take that, that's what J.J. Redick said. And then he took it even further. He said, talking about the C.J. McCollum situation, he said, this just shows a complete lack of investment in your team, in the organization, in the city. He said, I get that he's hurt and away from the team, but you just traded for one of the 50 best players in the league. A guy that's supposed to be paired with you. Reach out and say hello. He said, this is a pattern of behavior with Zion that we're seeing again and again. I was his teammate. I can describe him as a detached teammate. That is an accurate statement. End quote. So, tough words right there to just call somebody flat out a detached teammate and double down and say that is an accurate statement. You know, he was very adamant about this. You know, obviously, like I said, J.J. Redick also, he's not a guy that just played 1 or 2 years in the league. You know, maybe Zion was the only superstar teammate he ever had. Nah, like, this guy was in the league for 13, I'm just going to say 13 years. I'm going to look it up for sure, though, because, you know me, I always like to be, you know, factually correct with the things I'm saying. But here we go. So, started in 06, made it to 2021. I'd say that's, jeez, sorry. That's 15 years. So, he played 15 years in the NBA. So, this guy definitely played with star players. Other players, they didn't act like that. Obviously, like I said, I'm getting really bad vibes from Zion. I do have to report, you know, some news from the other side. You know, I can't just be one-sided. That's just one guy's opinion, right? There's reports, you know, from people close to the team and close to Zion that say the disconnect stems from Zion and his camp's distrust of David Griffin, which is the GM, who I mentioned earlier, the guy saying all of these statements and everything. You know, obviously he has to give the updates on what's going on with Zion. But, I mean, if you remember David Griffin, he was LeBron's GM back in Cleveland. Obviously, LeBron, when he left, David Griffin had, you know, some choice words for him. And then LeBron still came back, but still never really liked David Griffin. A lot of people around the NBA, you know, didn't really like that he did that. A lot of people around the NBA don't really like David Griffin. So, there could be some truth to that for sure. They said, the reports are really saying that he never trusted him from the start, him and his camp. I guess they didn't flat out say that he doesn't want to be there, but that's the vibe that I'm starting to get. I don't know. I mean, I guess this is where I turn it over to you guys, anybody watching this video. Like, what do you think? Because, that's really just all the information that we have to go off of. I've kind of said what I think. I think he is, like, obviously I got to side with JJ Redick. Is, he's being a detached teammate. That's, not reaching out to CJ McCollum. That's just unacceptable. Obviously, I didn't talk about how, every time you see him now, it seems like he's put on some weight. He looks like a big boy, and not in like a good way, like I would say about my dog. I'm surprised he didn't run over here when I said that. But, he's looking like a pretty hefty dude. Like, he might not be taking care of himself the right way. And that could, further, show what JJ Redick was saying about him just not being invested. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, I did say, the title of the video I put, Zion might be a bust. I feel like I should actually address that. I think he could be a bust, if this pattern of behavior continues, if he continues to show that, one, he's not invested, two, he's not dedicated, and, three, that he can't stay healthy because, maybe because he's not invested, because he's putting on extra weight. That's a lot of weight, and his game is predicated on jumping high and explosion. So maybe this guy could end up being a bust. I hope not. I'm still rooting for the guy. He's still a kid. It's only his third year in the league. I think he's like 21, 22 years old. So he's still a kid. I'm still definitely going to be rooting for him. I hope he can turn this around. I honestly hope, the reports of him being disconnected and all that is not true. So it is what it is. The story will continue to unfold. With all that being said, like I said earlier, I'm just glad the NBA is back tonight. I have games to watch. I got some stuff on right now that I'm looking at. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, if you like the content, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram too. Definitely posting updates. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. You guys just keep nerding it up. I'll see you tomorrow night.